Hello everyone, this is my first YouTube video, and I will be giving you a tour of my Durin's Great Forge build and a town surrounding it that I've built. This build took me quite an extensive amount of time, lots of resources. I think it took me a few months of being on and off the game, going through burnouts and stuff. So yeah, I hope you enjoy. This build has a lot of inspirations from other people that are in the Discord. The main forge layout is mainly inspired by Mariak Fermax. One of his builds, I just liked it so much, and I couldn't figure out a very, how would I say? I couldn't figure out an optimal build for that room until I saw his. So then I just kind of more or less stole the layout and put my own little flair on it. And then there are some others later down that we'll get to when we get there. But okay, so we start with a big entry gate into the forge. I wish we could turn these white pre-built statues around because I feel like it would look much better facing the other way, but anyway. So we have an entrance into a house right here. It's a little home I built. Cooking stations down here. Come up here, a little dining area, bed. Nice walkout balcony to where you can see the entrance. Looks very nice. And then I built a breezeway into another building next door. And I couldn't really think of what to do with the upstairs, so I just kind of left it like this. We go downstairs, and we have this little nice room in here, nice ambiance. I like it a lot. A lot of these builds, I just kind of make it up as I go. I know some people in the Discord, they plan everything out and draw it out on graph paper. I am not that organized. I just figure it out as I go. So, yep, come out this way. And then there's another entrance back into the entry, but I will show it to you from the other entrance because it looks much better. This is an alternate entrance to the town, but we will get to that later. So we come into a very large entry hall that I built, mainly by layering the 2-story adamant pillars next to each other. I really like how this makes a smooth wall and looks very regal that way. Have the statues decorating, very castle-like structure on the front. We go in, double set of doors, come into the main entrance, and there are 2 entryways you can go through, guided by these statues. I'll go this way. And by the way, there may be some stuttering. I'm on PlayStation, and there are a lot of pieces in this room. It's massive, so just bear with me if that happens. Okay, so we come into the entrance to the forge. Coming down these stairs, we have 2 armories to either side. The left side I wanted to go with a little theme, so the left side has black armor, and the right side has white armor. Some of these are not complete sets. I liked to change them. Like, for instance, I really like the Kazad set on the left with the Dimro helmet. I think it looks really nice. I love the Dimro helmet. It may be my favorite in the game. But anyway, so we come down to the main entrance. To the left is a kitchen area. So you have your various roasting pits. I made like a little barbecue thing here. Got your stove, ovens, grist mills, all that good stuff. We come up here, and this is just sort of a dining area for people who are sitting in the barracks, guarding the front. Of course, we have 2 kegs up here. I have many breweries throughout because in typical Dwarven fashion, we can't have enough beer. In here is the living quarters for the guards, and this is mainly my living quarters, honestly, for my 4 main dwarves that I like to use in this game. So each bed is assigned to one of them. Nice bunk beds. Here I have a pack that is just usually empty, but I recently used it. It's for various things that may require an empty pack, like scavenging for resources, that kind of stuff. In here I have all my rations fully stocked for whenever I need. Various decorations throughout. So yeah, we will walk out now into the barracks. I have each type of weapon with various infusements of runes. So mainly just for kind of aesthetic purposes, to make so that they don't all look the same. And mounted shields and weapons. Then we come over here. Got a nice little workbench to sit and work while you watch everyone smith and such. In here we have some storage. This is sort of a crafting area, so you got workbench, rune table, everything. Got my abox, I think that's how you pronounce it, in there. Gems in here, sunstone and quartz, true quartz, excuse me. Down here we have all my crafting materials in separate chests. Here we have there was a space here, I didn't know what to do with it, so I just made a little reading nook. I think it's nice and cozy, and we got your books and scrolls in there. And here, this is an extensive amount of storage. You could store so much stuff down here. So I have all my wood, stone and coal up there, various chests, because I'm in a sandbox world, and there are lots of granite and adamant deposits throughout. So yeah, have all this stuff. Have all my ore right here, and I color coded. If you notice, let me see if I can get it. Yes, like the lights. So for silver ore, I have a white light. Gold ore, I have a yellow light. Tin, blue, etc., etc. So we come back up here, and this is just more storage. These are all my ingots, which took a very long time to melt down, but worth it because it looks cool. More adamant and granite over here, and stone. I have lots and lots of stone, probably 40,000 stone in this world, because I just don't know what to do with it. So there's the stutter. Okay, so now I will go back out. Ooh, had a little piece break here. That's fine, I'll fix that. This exits out into the main forge, where I have my main brewery, and this is just a direct ripoff of Mariek Fermax's brewery, because it's just the most optimal way to fit as many brew tanks as you can. I have my Ufuhan furnaces down here. And there are many, many entrances and connected pathways to what I'm about to show you, but this is an extended stair that goes all the way up. And if you notice, I can go down this way, and that exits to my second level of storage, which is really cool. So it's very accessible. And this leads up to the rest of my brewery and my greenhouse, for which there are two entrances. This is the back entrance. So I'm growing a lot of oats right now. This greenhouse is 2 stories high, and we are very high up, and this is very structurally sound. I really haven't had any problems with it, except there was one time I loaded in and some of it had collapsed, but I think that was an anomaly because it hasn't happened since. So this is all my light growing, and then this is some of my dark growing over here, my mushrooms. And I have chests at the end of each farm box so I can deposit when I'm done with my run. It takes a long time to run through all this, so I only do it when need be. But and up here you get a really cool view, and you can just see just how high up we are in this room. Got 2 buildings down there, which I will show you later. So this is the front entrance of the greenhouse. And I have a pack here that's empty that I use just in case I have extra plants in my backpack. So that way, when it's empty, you can quickly plant and uproot And when you deposit each time after that, like say you do a full run of apples, then you deposit them all. That way you don't have a risk of one of them overriding the other one. So then you don't have to scroll through anything like that. All right, this is how I fill up my brew tanks, and I can also tap these medium kegs, and I can fill those up, get to the top of those through these stairs. Then I have sort of a self-serve bar here, and here as well. So yeah, that's my brewery / greenhouse. I will take you now. Sorry, this is not as organized as I would like. I just am kind of winging this. I couldn't figure out the optimal path, so I'm just kind of flying by the seat of my pants here. All right, so we go back down the front. And we have a great view of that forge. I love the Durin's forge in this game. I think it looks the best out of all of them. It's so beautiful. I love the 7 dots on the top. I believe it's to signify the 7 stars that Durin saw above his head. If you're familiar with the Miramare song that Gimli sings when they enter the mines of Moria in Fellowship of the Ring. Anyway, so this is a sort of pub area here, where you can, travelers can come in, get a drink, or many sit down, have a drink with their friends. No food in here, just drinks. And you come upstairs, and this was featured in my Diners and Dives entry, so some of you may have seen this before. But you come up here, you got bunk beds for everyone to sleep in, sleep off their drunken state, and a guardrail, which I did not embed all the way, so sometimes you can walk over it, which is dangerous for drunken dwarves, but it is what it is. It gives you a nice view, so you can see all the way up to the greenhouse and brewery. Looks really nice from here. So we will go back down and check out the other tavern to the left. This one's more extensive, more filled out. So you've got various dining tables, cooking stations of that nature, a bar you can sit in and eat. Another table over here. I've got spiral staircase. This was my best attempt, and this is a tight space, so it was kind of hard to do. But you have your kegs up here that you can walk up, and for the workers to get the customer's beer, and then up here we have a VIP. This is a VIP access for employees only. Leads up to a luxury break room in here. So everybody has their own glass of beer or mug of beer. They can sit and read. Sit by the campfire, nice and decorated. Got your Durin statue in an alcove here, which I quite like. I think it looks really cool. Use this rough stairs for a roof. This is a technique I like to use. I think it looks really nice. Let me eat a cookie real quick. And then you have an exit. Oops. You have an exit back to the top level of the forge. Yep, and you can come back to the main entrance. So that is my forge walkthrough. Now we will move on to the town. This town spans many rooms. I don't know if this is an issue with PC users, but this town has gone on so far. I built it so far away from my resource deposits that the game actually deloads my resources, even though I have all of the hearths connected. If I go to a room far enough, I can't use the resources and I have to go to a room next to it because it deloads them. But anyway, so we come to the entrance of the city. Oh, and this is the other entrance. Sorry. So this is the entrance from the front. come in through this tunnel. I get a really bad stutter right now. Got a nice statue. And to your right from this entrance is a feast hall. Now this is a glitch. I don't know if anyone else has experienced this, but like this tree is built. It's fully grown. It should be tall enough for me to cut, but it's a visual glitch where the tree shrinks down to a sapling and I'm not able to cut it down. So just if there are any devs watching, just to put a bug in your ear about that. But anyway, got your flowers over here, have a ornate entrance, wooden archway into many dining tables, and you can, come over here, cook whatever you need, roasting pit, stove. And this is something that I quite like. I saw somebody do this, and I love it. I use a lot of, if you notice, railings or lattice to mimic sort of like a gate that you could open and close. I think it looks really cool. So you'll see that throughout my build. There are two of them right there as well. But yeah, and of course a bar, all dressed up. What Dwarven Feast Hall would be complete without a bar? So that is the feast hall. We come outside to a long entry hall, and here are more of those trees that are not grown all the way, or they are grown but they're not showing it. To my right I have a forge, blacksmithy, so I've got various weapons and armor. I got my smithy, this little design that I came up with, looks pretty cool. Various workstations, furnaces, that kind of stuff. And after you're done sharpening your tools or fixing up your armor, you can come into this room, this may be my favorite room in the game that I've created, but it is a little training area where you can come up and dwarves can duke it out, test their skills, you can place bets. You got a little ring that I built. I think it looks really nice. Yeah, so come out this way. We've got this space was pretty small. I didn't know what to do with it really, so I just kind of, again, made it up as I went. But I got this little room down here, nothing much down here. You come up here and it's a little room for somebody to stay in. I got your cooking stuff here, bed, all that stuff. And then you go up to the third floor, it's very tight. And you have a library. So you can sit and read, do your lore research, read up on the Silmarillion, that sort of stuff. So, anyway. Come down, and this is a luxury tavern. I directly ripped this layout off from, I believe his name was Davey Firebeard, shout out, in the Discord. It was so good that I just had to steal it. So basically copied it block for block with my own little twists, but he will definitely recognize this. I think he wrote in the Discord it was his magnum opus. So it's my magnum opus of thievery. But anyway, so you have your tap here, nice walls, a banquet table. This chair is reserved for the Lord of Moria, of course. Upstairs you have additional seating and serving areas. You can do some more cooking, get some beer. Nice decorations with flowers. Nice Durin statue here. Looks really cool. And then you can come down to the lower level, and we have a couple apartment rooms, or, in case somebody has too much to drink, they need to go lie down for a little bit. I have 4 rooms down here for them, so they can sober up and get back to their partying ways. So, yep. Couldn't do anything about this statue. Honestly, would have liked to have removed it, but it is what it is. So, anyway. Come out here, and this is just an exit to the lower deeps. double adamant door. Never have any problems with penetration here. Honestly, the orcs, the hearths zones are so far, orcs never spawn here on sieges, so I don't have to worry about it anyway. But, alright, so we have 2 more rooms that connect to this one. I'm going to go to this one first. This is the newest one that I built. This one is more of a lower deeps themed room. Is indicated by the ubasum trees, or however you pronounce that word. So we have an entryway here. Very nice, dressed up. Went a little crazy with this one, but I like it. And these tunnels, by the way, I noticed somebody building these with the granite roofs, the roof pieces, and I really like them. It's a nice alternative tunnel that we can have to the adamant tunnels that we have in the game. We come here to a nice little shop. This one is a redesign of a previous building that was already in the game. I did my best at it. But I really liked the layout, so I basically just copied it. Oh, looks like I have a piece that fell off there. Oh well. So, yep. I think I wanted this to sort of be kind of like a textiles shop. So I've got like your little leather here. Well, it looks like leather here. Assortment of banners and whatnot. Up here we have a workstation for the owner. Various ink grinders and stuff like that. Nice plant here. A walkout balcony. Beautiful roof. I love this design of the roof, the green wooden roof with the wooden panels here. I think it looks really nice. Adds a nice homey feel. Let me get my torch out since it's dark. Alright, we come back out here. And this is just an end, kind of like a back entrance. Doesn't really lead anywhere. But didn't want to wall it off completely, so... Here we have sort of a little ubasum farm, lower deeps farm. Did my best to recreate it. I wish we could have a little more variety with the trees. They kind of look bland, like if we could maybe some of them plant as like the smaller mushrooms, stuff like that, just to give it a little more variety. But regardless, I really like the changes that they've made and the ability to plant trees. I think it's great. So we come out here. This is, again, another exit. This is one of those giant pillar rooms. I have not scavenged it yet. In here we have a three-story house. So you come in here, you have your kitchen, dining area. This is just a back exit or entrance. You go up this way, and this is the bedroom. So this would be for a couple because it's a bigger house. All the necessities, chests, armor stands, everything. Of course, beer again. Little library, bookcase, reading nook. Then you come up here. This is sort of like a crafting area. So any crafting you need to get done up here, whether it be, making bars or weapons, armor, that sort of stuff. Salt bath. And I really like this double entrance. I think it looks so cool. And I actually wanted to keep going, but I hit the roof. Unfortunately, I hit the roof of the room, so I couldn't keep building in here. But anyway, so I will use the back exit now. This is a room. I didn't really know what to do with it. This is another one I kind of made up as I went. I think it looks really cool, but I didn't know how to fill it out, so I just kind of left it. So you come in here, got another exit that way, have a stairwell that leads up to a second level, and yeah, pretty plain, pretty boring. Couldn't think of anything to fill it out with, but still looks cool regardless. Yeah, I also love, I saw someone do this, they use the decorative barriers to create this sort of bridge effect on the side of the adamant, because these are adamant archways and barricades to make this pathway. And they use this granite piece here to make it look like a bridge, and I think that's a really cool effect. So I've used that a lot in this build. Come out the exit, some more statues, and then a very regal castle-like entry, well, exit/entry, depending on where you're coming from. This leads out to one of these rooms. And this build is big enough to where I need multiple map stones. Because traversing around takes a long time, as you can tell, because this video is probably already very long. But bear with me, we're almost done. So, come back to this room again. And we will now go to the final room. So, nice and dressed up entry hall. I tried to keep them different each time, just to add some variety to these entryways. This one I opted to build a large staircase coming up to the middle of the room, just to keep it different and not feel like the same layout in every room. So to the left I have my elven garden, which, by the way, I love these new pieces with the plants on them. I think they look so nice. Really cool. Really adds to the whole like greenhouse effect. I haven't implemented them yet in my greenhouse. I'm thinking of it though. So we have lots of trees planted and, just pots, plants, everything. Nice garden area. An exit that looks the same. Then up here we have a really cool room that I came up with. This is one of my other favorite rooms. This one is kind of a monument to fallen dwarves. Looks cooler at night. Right now there's a little too much light in here, but when it's nighttime it looks really cool. So many of these statues come down, have some caskets here, which this design for the casket I also stole from Moria. I think it looks really nice. And then you have another one in here. Yeah, very dreary vibe, especially at night. You can come pay your respects. We have two other matching entrances, and then this statue here in this little alcove, which I think is really cool. So then down here we have a little jail area. So every orc has a pot to you know what in. They do not get a bed because we're not that hospitable to orcs. Laid out armor and shields for all the guards. They have little tables that they can sit in and observe and keep watch, that sort of thing. Armor or weapon stands in case a riot occurs. We have another exit this way. And this room is the guards' quarters for the jail. So you come in here, very nice wooden inlay. I love layering these wooden panels. I think it creates a really cool effect. So each guard has a bed with armor stand, put their armor on, and they can make their own food, that sort of stuff. A little banquet hall and more beer. Can't ever get enough of it. So yeah, really cool room. And now we will make our way to the final room, which is over here. And something that I really like about this room, you can see if I can catch it. Yeah. You can see, you probably already know what kind of room it is, judging by this. But again, it looks cooler at night, but you can see sort of like the yellow light peering through the windows, which is really cool. But we come up here through one of these tunnels, a very large, tall staircase up to the entry. It's going to be very bright in here because I have my torch. We come into the treasure room. And this room, I basically tried to jam as much treasure as humanly possible in here. So we have lots of gold bars, coins, even have a few ornamental decorations, shields, golden shields, stuff like that. Love these stacks of gold bars. It really adds to the treasure room, I think. Have a couple golden armor sets as well. And yeah, this one took a long time, a lot of work to figure out how to fit all this in here, because you really have to be particular with how you cram these gold piles in to make sure there's no gaps on the floor. But yeah, I really like how this turned out. So anyway, oops. That pretty much does it. Can't really think of anything else. One more exit to the deeps, and I just have this hearth here because I ran out of space, or I ran out of my hearth zone. So yeah. If you guys enjoyed this video, please let me know. I will be posting it on YouTube, as well as putting the link in the Discord for everyone to check out. This has been a really long project of mine. Took many hours, many resources, many worlds mined. Yeah, on to more things. Hopefully this didn't burn me out too much. I probably will be taking a break from this game for a little bit, at least the building, because I feel like I've run out of ideas. But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you maybe in the next video.